All right, guys. So today is 1st of May 2025. So actually I'm currently in on this GU buy at the moment, as you can see. So I've been waiting for price to get to this zone for like 3 days now. Today is actually Thursday, so I've been waiting for price to get to this zone since Monday. And remember last week I couldn't get any opportunity in the market, so I did not take any trade in the market. So this is the first trade of the week and also the first trade of the month. So without any further ado, let's go straight to the account and see how the trade looks like actually. Though this buy set two right here, this yes, last week opportunity, this is the opportunity I could have taken, this is the trade I could have taken last week. So I will explain about this later, so let's go straight to the account, so we'll come back to this later. Yeah. So yeah, here's the trade running on the 10k account, as you can see. So and we are running in approximately $5.7 at the moment. So I'll get back to you guys on the outcome of this trade. So as you can see, we are still in drawdown on the 10k account, so I will notify you guys as usual. Cheers. Alright guys, so before we continue with the documentation of this week trade, so if you notice, I did not post last week. So actually I made a clip concerning last week trade, and also I added the tutorial of how to journal your trade using Notion on your Android mobile, but I was having a technical issue uploading that throughout the week, so I couldn't upload that video. So what I want to do now is that I want to just go back a bit and do a real quick breakdown of last week trades, what happened last week, then before we continue with the documentation of this week. So without any further ado, let's just go straight to so yeah, as you can see right here, so this was on 23rd of April, which was Wednesday. So I didn't get any setup Monday till Wednesday, which is 23rd of April. I'm talking about last week right now. So I got this opportunity. Actually, I was waiting for price to first of all break below this candle. Although I used 5 minutes for that entry, so I was waiting for price to first of all break below this low before pulling back to this my supposed entry zone, but that didn't happen. So price first of all pulled back to my supposed entry zone before breaking the low. So as a result of that, I did not take the trade. So that's how I let the trade slide. So but actually price could not break below this low, rather it actually pulled back to my supposed entry zone from here. So since price have already broken this low that I was expecting it to break initially, so I was waiting to see a kind of a promising reaction around this area so that I will still short the market the second time. But when price get to this zone, the reaction wasn't that promising. It wasn't what I was expecting. So and that's how I also left this one to slide. So that's how I also missed that trade. So after that, price broke above this high entirely. So this was a kind of a callback for me to like try again. So I started watching the market, but actually I did not also take this setup, which actually went to my supposed TP. And the reason being that the entry showed around 11 p.m. in the midnight. So and that was my non-trading hour. So that's why I did not take that trade. So that's how last week went. I did not take any trade last week. So let's continue with this week video, and also before we continue with this week video, so with this week documentation, I also want to chip in something here. For those of you who watched the last video, the last 2 weeks video, so you will see where I made mention of the fact that some of all these gurus, they don't teach us how to manage our strategy entirely. Rather, they only teach us how to manage trade by trade. So actually because I know that sometimes the reason why most strategy stops working is because maybe there is something that stopped working in the strategy. Maybe their bias or the entry stop working at that very point in time, and sometimes it may be a something that needs a tweak for it to bounce back. But at some certain points in time, you will notice that actually it's your entire strategy that stopped working. The market stopped favoring your strategy at that particular point in time. So, and you will go back to your journal and you see that there's nothing to tweak at all. So in a situation like this, you don't have to first of all lose all the money you have made for years in the market before you now know what to do. So actually, I have a trick. I have put down a trick I'm using to like manage my own entirely in case if something like this happen. So actually by next week video, I will be sharing that with you guys. I don't want this video to be compiled with so much information and be too long like that. So I'll be sharing with you guys my own trick to handle a situation like that, because sometimes this thing will happen and you see yourself in a losing streak, and at the end of the day you go back to your journal and see that there is nothing to tweak. That is just your entire strategy stopped working at that very point in time. So does it mean that you should quit your strategy? Does it mean that you should go out about looking for another strategy? And remember, that's the reason why most traders are not successful today, jumping from one strategy to another. So I'll be sharing with you guys my own trick. Maybe it may help one or two of you to know what to do once once such a thing occurs in your own. So that will be all for this one. So let's continue with this week trading journal and then the documentation. Cheers. All right, guys. So as you can see, the price just hit sell at the moment. So price just stopped me out on the trades, and without any further ado, let's go straight to the account and see how much I lost and what is left on the account. Yeah. So yeah, here is the history of the trade on the 10K account, as you can see. So I lost about $18.22 on the 10K account, and we are left with this balance at the moment. So I will notify you guys if I see any other opportunity for today or by tomorrow, as usual. So I'll notify you guys on how this week goes. Cheers. All right, guys. So this is a video to tell you guys that we are coming to the end of this week documentation. Actually, I only took one trade. Actually, I got another opportunity on Friday. Actually, but the opportunity did not due to that NFP news, so the whole thing did not play out. Let me just show you guys real quick. Then after that, I will be taking you guys to the account. Then we'll check how much is left, how much I made, and all of that. So yeah, let's go real quick. All right, guys. So here we are, as you can see. Yeah. So this was the trade I took on Thursday. So which was 1st of May. So and this on Friday. So actually on this Friday, I was waiting for something like this. Actually, this particular candle you see here is the NFP news candle. So yeah, let me show you. So yeah, when the price break here, because remember I was using 5 minutes though, so but if I use 5 minutes it will be so crowded, so that's why I'm using 30 minutes here. So when price broke above this low, so above this high, so I was waiting I set my limit order actually somewhere here. So I was having something like this on my limit order. So yeah, I was having something like this, as you can see. So this was my setup that Friday. So I was waiting for price to like pull back here, tag me in, and continue. But as you can see, price just made all the attempts it made but couldn't pull back to my entry. So that's how I missed this trade on Friday. But actually I was still hopeful, so I was waiting to see if price will still pull back and tag me in before it breaks above this high. So I was still waiting for price to like pull back and tag me in, but actually price pull back here which is supposed to tag me in. But at this point I have already closed my limit order due to the NFP news. Remember, I don't enter trade during the news, and also I normally close my trade before the news, 5 minutes before the news. So I closed I just closed the order, so that this due to the news, and the news actually came, which is supposed to tag me in, and then went straight to my TP. But that's how I missed the trade. So that's just all for this week. So in this week I only took one trade. and that one trade is a loss. So actually, let's go straight to the account and see how much how much I lost, and what is left in the account without any further ado. Yeah. So yeah, as you can see, here is the account. We are now on the 10K account, as you can see right here. So actually the trade I took on Thursday, so I lost $18.22, and we are left with this balance on the 10K account. So that will be all for this week. Thanks a lot for tuning in. So by next week we'll come again and do our things. You know how we do it. So I will update you guys if I see any opportunity by next week. Cheers.